And welcome back to my house. Today I will be reviewing Invincible Season 4. This is the start, or rather, this is the end of a great era where we had so many great weekly stuff. Aaron, and this is the first one to end. We had Invincible, The Boys, Daredevil, Maul, like so many great shows. But yeah, this is the first one to end, and I'm not gonna lie, I think it was my second favorite one out of all of them. But yeah, let's start with our video quote. Today's video quote is: "Most powerful is he who controls his own power." Alright, so since this is like a reoccurring show, I'm not really gonna do a spoiler free section. But if you never watched the show, it's basically a superhero animated show. Definitely recommend it. It's really great, especially the earlier seasons, especially season one. The good animation. Animation fall off a tad bit. Well, not a tad bit, but a lot. But I would still recommend the show or even the comics. I'm assuming if you're here, you already watched like the last three seasons, so I'm just gonna jump straight into spoilers. But yeah, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. And most of the stuff I'll be talking about in this review will be in the order of the episodes. So if you only watch like half the season, then I guess you could stick around for like half the video if you want. But yeah, I would still recommend watching the entire season before this review. Alright, so start off strong. Mark making the choice to kill off the alien squid, that was just really good. Like this development for Mark is just really cool. Just seeing him being forced to make these choices because he believes he killed Conquest at this time, but seeing how far he's willing to go to protect people and like where his morals is as a person, and then like that obviously is really important for his character, especially considering what Omni Man did and stuff like that. So if he's gonna like turn out like an Omni Man, or he's still gonna be more towards his human side, the Viltrumite or the human side, something kind of like that. And I think so far we're just seeing him in this gray area, so it's pretty cool to see that. But yeah, I think it's definitely obvious that Mark isn't like a hero. We can definitely see he's not the best hero ever. I mean, he is a teenager, so it makes sense too. All right, and then next, episode 2 was kind of slow. And for quick reference, I did read the comics, but I'm not gonna spoil anything from the comics. I might compare some things here and there, but no spoilers for like future seasons and stuff like that. Overall, I knew this season was gonna be pretty slow because I don't remember anything crazy happening in this season other than the Thrag fight at the end, of course. So I knew it was gonna be pretty slow. It's gonna be, well, it was a really good transition season. I knew it was going to be more of a transition season, basically. So I didn't have too many high hopes going in here. Yeah, so I knew there would be some slow moments. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it would have been cool if you got some more bonding from that episode with Nolan and Alan. Kind of just spammed the sex joke. I feel like they kind of overused it. It was good like the first like 2 or 3 times, but then it kind of just got annoying at some point. But yeah. All right, then for the next episode, I actually really liked the Flaxen part because from what I believe from the comics, when Monster Girl and Rex try to like go into the realm to stop them, I'm pretty sure they just went by themselves and nobody wanted to help them. I might be forgetting this wrong, but I'm pretty sure, like 90% sure that that's what happened. So I do like how the whole entire team tried to help them, and it makes more sense because like the Flax has been a pain for them for so long, so it makes sense why they would just try to like stop them. But like in the comics, they just looked at them like they were crazy going there. So yeah, we'll have to wait until next season to see what happens with them. But yeah, it should definitely be exciting. All right, now for the worst episode of the show, definitely by far, is the Damien Dark episode. It was just so boring and so slow. Like we needed like 15 minutes of that max. Like the plot line was just so boring. If you couldn't tell, this is a story only plot line, which didn't go well, obviously. I think most fans hated this episode. So yeah, I guess they should really stick with the comics or make some more creative story only plot lines, because this was not it. I mean, I guess the only really good thing I could say about this episode is that we got to see like Mark trying to figure out the type of hero he wants to be, kind of like what I said before, and like Damien kind of like counseling him and stuff like that. It was just so boring. It just felt like filler, which technically it is filler. So yeah, I just wish they stuck with the comics or maybe just made a better story only plot line. That would have been interesting. And the animation wasn't even that good during the episode. They did a lot of animation cuts and stuff like that. So yeah, I just generally don't know what they were trying to do with that. That definitely hurt the season a lot because this is already gonna be such a slow season since it's building up for season 5. And then when you have like the worst episode in the show here too, it really does hurt the season. It really does suck. But they really did make up for it with episode 5, where we got Nolan coming back and he does his basically apology tour around the entire place, and just seeing everyone like reject Omni Man and seeing no one just try so hard. It really was pretty hard to watch. Yeah. And like the I Just Heroes Nolan scene, like that just really hit. And honestly, I kind of feel bad for him. Like, I'm not trying to say that everyone should forgive Omni Man because he did some really, really insanely bad things. From their perspective, yeah, I think he's pretty unforgivable. But I think Omni Man from the most of the audience, at least the show only fans, I think he's getting a lot more hate than he deserves. Like, yeah, he did a lot of crazy things, and I wouldn't even say you have to defend him, but I think from seeing his backstory and stuff like that, which was I think episode 2 or whatever, we should be able to understand that like these Viltrumites were raised to kill since they were basically born. Like he really didn't have a choice. So from an audience perspective, I feel like you should be able to understand that this is the this is basically the first Viltrumite we're seeing trying to go good. Like he didn't even know that was an option. Like he was just stuck in that cycle of violence and stuff. And he was just doing the job he was always been told to do since he was born. So yeah, I think Omni Man's getting a little bit too much hate from the audience. Debbie, Art, and Mark and Oliver, like any of those characters or anyone on Earth who lost people from his attack and stuff like that, they are definitely justified not to forgive him though. As an audience member, like someone watching the show, I think we should be able to understand why Omni Man did those things and maybe cut him a little bit of slack. And at least he's trying, you know? Definitely wouldn't say he's unforgivable like some people are saying. I think that's a little bit too crazy. Especially as we see him doing good, especially later in the season. And then the next episode, I really like the main thing I liked about it was Oliver and Omni Man just bonded. And I know that was in the comics, but I definitely think they added some more scenes with it, like Oliver overhearing Nolan and Debbie arguing about his mom and stuff like that. So that really just hit home. And it was really good just to see Oliver finally forgiving Nolan and just, Nolan starting to be able to see some good outcomes from him being good, basically, and not killing people and stuff like that. So it really is good to see that. Even though it's super funny, but yeah, even like the lobster scene, I feel like that's really important. Maybe you guys wouldn't understand it now if you don't read the comics, but I think that'll definitely come back later on. So yeah, keep an eye on any lobsters in the future. And then the next episode, the big famous one, the Thrag episode, was so great. I just loved how good of a job they did showcasing like how powerful Thrag is. And like the animation was actually good for like maybe like 5 minutes within the episode, so I guess I'll take it. But yeah, they did such a great job showing how powerful Thrag is, so I really do like that. Because I mean, I guess you could see it in the comics, but you could definitely tell how big of a difference and power skill and they wanted to make a difference in the show, and I think they did a great job at doing that. And even outside like fights and stuff like that, I think the Thrag and Nolan conversation was really good about them comparing what Viltrum's goals and stuff were, and like Nolan literally trying to convince Thrag, but Thrag just wouldn't take it. He's just so into the Viltrum Empire's like goals and mindset from the first emperor, whatever his name was. So yeah, I think that was a really great conversation because they both like no one served Village for a long time too. So just really just seeing those different ideals clash was really cool. Now for the finale, people are probably gonna say it was slow, but that's basically what happened in the comic. So I kind of knew it was gonna happen. So I knew it was gonna be kind of a slow finale. There's not much you could do. It really does feel like not really a finale except for the end and the cliffhanger and stuff like that. So yeah, they did a good job with that. But overall, I think they did improve with it because the Thrag conversation was supposed to be at the very beginning of the episode, like it was in the comics, but they actually kind of built it up, which I liked. Like, is he dreaming this? Is this real? And that was also just great overall, just seeing Mark's PTSD and just like him being so afraid to Thrag, like this is how bad like he messed this up. Because I really don't think the comics really focused on that. Like maybe in the beginning, like when they were going to Earth, like when he was worried, but not much when he got to Earth. So I think this was really good how they're focusing on his PTSD because he's just a teenager. Like he's not used to just amount of trauma and stuff like that. I mean, I guess you have the Omni Man stuff in season 1. That's a lot of trauma, but still. And I guess they're gonna do something with a therapist too, which I wonder how that's gonna go in the next season because I don't think that's from the comics at all. But I think that's a really interesting path and just gives an opportunity for Cecil and to bond more and like help each other out because Mark definitely needs the help after this. Talking about Cecil, I love the Cecil and Omni Man talk. Like how he basically just stood up to Omni Man, calling it his planet and basically telling him to get off it, and how he's just like not trying to forgive him at all. Like whatsoever. Just saying the death count in front of him. Like, it was just so good. Cecil's such a goat. Like, he's definitely the best character in the show. Definitely my favorite character in the show, too. If you couldn't tell with the glazing. I guess my only really other complaint was that, this was in the comics, but yeah, I guess you could kind of tell, like, Omni Man and Debbie are starting to kind of get together. I don't remember if the Paul breakup was off screen in the comics, but I don't know, it felt really sudden, like, watching it. So even if it wasn't the comics, I feel like they could have did more with it. I mean, I guess we saw Debbie struggling a bit, but it just felt kind of rushed, And I feel like Paul and Debbie had had something good going on. And at least I hope they take more time if they're gonna get back together for Debbie to like process her feelings and stuff like that, and actually be ready to forgive Omni Man because of the terrible stuff he did. Because nobody else is trying to forgive him. Yeah, I hope they don't rush that. But overall, it was a pretty good season. Like as you could tell, like I didn't really have anything negative to say except that it was like slow, but that was most of the stuff in the comics. And the Damien Dark episode, of course, that was terrible. But other than that, it was a really good season. Maybe like the second worst, maybe season two's worst, around that. Yeah, it's just a transition season. I know season five would be definitely great, especially with the stuff going on in the comics. So that's the one to be hyped for, not this one, because I've seen lots of people getting hyped for this one. But yeah, it's really next season where the bigger stuff is happening. I don't think there will be any other slow seasons like this one, so I'm definitely hyped for the next season. But yeah, like I said, it was an overall pretty good season, and so here's my rating for the overall show, not just this season. I hate rating individual seasons, so this is the rating for the entire show. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. And I know you're probably wondering, like, why is that so low? Like, Invincible is such a great show. Mainly, I mean, yeah, this was a bit slow, and then we had the Damien Dark episode and stuff like that. And overall, like, plot-wise, I don't have too many complaints other than, like, some of the power scaling and stuff like that. But most of the time it's really good, like the plot and stuff like that. I don't have much of a problem with that. It's just the animation. I just generally can't get the show a 8 or higher, which is like a great for me if the animation doesn't improve. Like, I'm sorry, it's just gonna have to stay at 7.5 or even lower if the other seasons are worse quality or it goes down in the plot and stuff like that. But until I see an animation improvement, I don't think I can give it an 8. It would just kind of just be a disservice to all the other 8s I've given before. So for now, it's just gonna have to stay at 7.5. If I had good animation, it could easily be an 8, maybe 8.5, but that might be pushing it for me. I still don't feel like the plot is too insane, but it definitely is fun and enjoyable. But yeah, I guess if you're not too big on animation, but even then you could just read the comics, then I guess you could give it a 8 or whatever you want. But yeah, just for me personally, I'm sticking at a 7.5. Alright, so that is my review of Invincible Season 4, the first show that basically happened this year other than like Wonder Man and stuff like that. So yeah, stick around on the channel if you like this video. We still had Daredevil, The Boys, Maul, and all these other shows and movies this year. This year's going to be great for content, so yeah, drop a like, subscribe if you want to see more of that. And I forgot I might as well start asking questions, leave down in the comments every episode, so I'm going to try to do that for each video. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys' favorite show is airing, including Invincible since it's still kind of going. But yeah, let me know in the comments. For me, it's definitely Born Again, definitely the best show airing right now, then Invincible. But yeah, let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one.